If I have not met you, my name is Pattie Mercado. I'm an assistant minister here. And it's my joy, my pleasure to be speaking today on our wonderful topic and being here while Dr. Heather is at our conference in Vancouver, Canada. So the topic this month is connection, the lives you touch. And when I left that voice message earlier this week, you might have heard it. I said, come and experience some of the lives that you touch. Because, you know, it happens every day, all day. The choir, you touched me. Your tears, they touched me. Your presence, it touches me. Who you are touches me. Now look around. Are there people here that touch you? Have you already experienced that powerful, amazing presence? That's God. That's life. That's why we're here. The unfailing presence of God is why we're here. To connect with it, to remember it, to experience it, to know it, to value it. When we show up here, we're saying, yes, I value this. This matters in my life. This divine idea that is God, in me, through me, as me. And each one of us is a part of it. Each one of us is that expression. I'm going to jump right into this fabulous book, which if you don't own, I highly recommend. We sell it in our bookstore. It's The Science of Mind, on page 114. Right at the top. To suppose that one must retire from the world to be spiritual is one of the greatest possible mistakes. This is directly opposed to the self-evident truth that spirit enjoys itself only in its own works, which is its self-manifestation. We enter into the spirit of life only as we enter into the spirit of living. How are we living? Are we living in the awareness that it's God? That it's all God all the time, everywhere? Everywhere present? What a great title. With God as your carrier, you're never dropped. Right? I know my carrier. They've dropped me. I know what it feels like to be dropped. It's not so nice. It feels like I'm talking away to my mom just the other night. We're talking away. She's telling me about this beautiful experience of hers, and I know it's meaningful to her. And all of a sudden, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? She wasn't there. So I called her back. She said, oh, we've all felt it, right? Oh, what I was saying mattered so much, but I was talking to the air. I was talking to the air. So our cell phone and our cell phone carrier may not be as reliable as we would like, but I can assure us, each one of us, that God, as our carrier, is really trustworthy. So we have a divine network. We have a divine network, and how do we plug into it with our cell phones? It's very easy. We call up AT&T and we say, yeah, pick me. I want to be part of that. Or Verizon, or whomever. But with God as our network, when we're remembering that God is the network that we are always connected to, how are we going about being connected to it besides what we've already established, which is showing up, which is noticing? There are many activities that we can do, and we do as a part of that connection. So, for instance, we might have a chant that is sacred to our heart. Yes? We might have music that we turn to. We might have a prayer. We might go to meditation. It's important that we have lots, many, more than one way to connect with that divine network. So just think in your mind. Just do a quick inventory. Do you have one way that you connect? Yes? Are we awake? 2, 3, 4. Byron Katie says if you have 3 or more, you're good, and you can always get more. So we really want to establish those habits, those particular habits in our own lives, because it's one thing to read about it in somebody else's life, which is very inspiring and not discouraged, but it's somebody else's. So we want to find that experience for ourselves. How do we do that? What are the ways that we do that? So I'm not going to tell you your way, but I'll share with you a couple of mine. And hopefully, if you've dropped away some of yours, you'll be inspired to pick them back up. Because why bother connecting? Really? We do know why we want to bother connecting, right? Because life works better. When next month our theme is shine, when we're letting our light shine, right? It's magical. It's amazing. It's like, oh yeah. That's when we're connected. And so all the ways that we know of to get there, whether it's reading a book or singing a song or saying a prayer or looking in someone's eyes that we love, that one really works. All of those ways that we connect, we want to keep them close to us. So, so we want to know how strong is our signal with our cell phone. It's kind of easy to see, right? You got 1 bar, I've got 1 bar, I've got 2 bars, I've got 3 bars, and I know my signal is really strong. But what's my internal signal to know that my connection is really strong? What's the internal signal that you have for you? You see, I could tell you my good ideas about it, but it might not be yours. I want you to think about what's your signal. How do you know your signal is strong? What's that feeling when you're connected? What's that feeling of knowing, this is God, this is Spirit moving through me. This isn't me, this is Spirit moving through me. And so I know I experience it when I feel alive, when I feel the energy, when I feel connected, when I'm thinking something and Fred says it. When there's a divine idea and all of a sudden it's unfolding without me, then I know my signal is strong. It might be easier for some of us to know when our signal is not so strong or when it's been dropped. What does that feel like? My biggest signal to myself when that happens is doubt. Yours might be something different. Could be anger. Could be fear. Could be confusion. Could be any of those feelings that disconnect us from our highest idea. Any of those feelings. So we really don't want to go there. We really don't want to spend too much time there. Where we really want to spend our time is being connected and remembering who we are. So there, I work with kids, so I get to refer to a very favorite children's book of mine called Are You My Mother? Anybody ever hear of it? Okay, so here's this little bird. It's a bird, right? She's looking for her mommy, and she's going up to all kinds of things and beings and saying, "Are you my mommy?" "No, I am not your mother." And goes up to the big crane. "Are you my mommy? Are you my mother?" "No, I am not your mother." "Are you my mother?" No, I am not your mother. Well, finally, the little bird does find her mother. She says, are you my mother? Yes, I am your mother. And that's kind of what it's like when we're out there in life. Are you my connection? I might ask. A movie, or a good book, or a doubting thought. Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you? But here's the mistake I'm making. I'm looking out here. I'm not going to find it out here. Where I'm going to find that connection is inside. I got to go deep within. I got to go inside. When I'm remembering my connection with God, I don't have to look out here, but I experience it out here. I experience it out here. It's important to open my eyes and enjoy it and appreciate it and say, thank you, God, for it, because we know what we put our attention on grows. But when I'm looking for it, I'm going here. I'm going deep. I'm going in. And I'm leaving the door open. So all of our cell phone companies have these towers, right? With their, whatever you call that, their transponders. Are they transponders? They're satellites. Fred says transponders too? They're all over the place so that your signal won't be dropped. And they like to brag about how many they have, right? Oh, there's lots of them around, and Verizon has the most. No, maybe it's AT&T or maybe it's Sprint. I don't know, But they're everywhere, and there's even fake trees out there when you're driving on the toll road, and you'll see them, and it's a fake tree. It's a wannabe. Well, I want you to look around and notice that we are each other's satellites, transponders. We are that for each other. It isn't just the lives you touch out there. It's how it reflects right back to us. That signal comes right back. Everybody is that for each one of us. The person in the grocery store, our mail carrier, our spouse, our kids, our parents, each one of us, we've been drawn here to this beautiful spiritual community because there's something special that happens here. Well, that something special that happens here is you. That something special that happens here is the energy that each one of us brings. And so when we're feeling disconnected, there's lots of points of power to remind us of our magnificence. There's lots of them. There are many of us. Even in the car, and that person that cut you off, they too. Because what happens in that moment is we're called to remember a greater idea. We're called to remember a greater idea. So, one of my favorite places to go, to connect, to remember, that leads me into a deeper awareness is the Creative Thought magazine and the Science of Mind magazine. But today, I'm sharing with you a little bit from the Daily Word, which is our Unity publication. And it's from earlier this week. If any of you received this, then you also were inspired by it probably. I may not receive immediate answers to the concerns and questions of my heart when I pray. However, I don't give up. Each time I pray and meditate, I attune myself to that still small voice within. Prayer soothes my soul and opens my awareness to divine guidance. At any time, my inner guidance can help me transcend a disturbing situation or release a troubled thought. That's exactly what we're talking about. A divine idea may come to mind while I'm relaxing in a familiar environment or away from my daily routine. Wherever and however I become aware of my guidance, I know it is within me all along. It became clear at the right time for me to act on it. That divine connection can never be severed. It can't be. God cannot be severed from us. We cannot be severed from it. That infinite and indwelling power and presence is within us all the time. And it's our joy in life to connect with it. It's our great, well, it is for me. I suspect it might be for you. Try it on for size. See if when you're connecting with that great power that is you, that is God expressing as you, it's showing up as you, so claim it. It's you. That's magnificence. So the idea, the reminder for each of us, with God as our carrier, we are never dropped, is to remember that. We're never dropped. So how are we going to call it forth? How are we going to express it? How are we going to demonstrate it in our lives? And we can choose that. We get to choose how we get to do that all the time, anytime, wherever we are. So our cell phone, as we're walking around out here, is necessary. And looking to teachers and classes and wisdom and books is valuable. And the inner journey in is our destiny. It's where we're headed. It is the true journey. So the internal movement moves us closer to that inner signal, that divine network, which I know is vibrating at an exceptional level. Can you just feel it? Can you feel it? Tune in. It's awesome. And that's you. And so I thank you for showing up and touching the lives that you touch. Thank you.